What is up, guys? Marcellus Williams, aka TheSwolefessor, here to educate you on health, fitness, social well-being, and I'm outside of Metroflex Gym right now, about to head inside. I'm going to be training with my boy Michael, and then two of my clients from the UNT powerlifting team, Santiago and Josh. You've seen all three of them on the channel at some point or another. And today is my, my fifth training day of the week. It's my, technique, active recovery, mile rep accessory, additional bench and squat volume type day. Now, for those of you who are wondering what the difference is between my this day, like the additional kind of technique based volume day for squats and bench versus the actual volume based day for squat and bench press, I'll have the video where I explain and break all that down. I'll have that link in the description down below, as well as yesterday's video where I pretty much talked about why today's technique based day is going to be a little bit different. Ordinarily, I go in, I do 4 sets of 7 on competition squats with a very light percentage, like today's like 64% of my max, and then same thing on bench press, 4x7 competition bench with 64% of my max. But if you guys check out yesterday's video, you saw yesterday's video, you know that today's gonna be a little bit different. I'm gonna be changing a little bit to reduce some overall fatigue that I've been dealing with, just due to different things like getting with weight loss, getting my weight back, and then this week just being kind of a rougher week in general. Like I said, if you guys want more details on that, just check out that video. But pretty much what I'm doing is, instead of the 4 sets of 7 on squats, I'm gonna be reducing that by 1 set or 2. We'll see how I feel after the second set, and then I'll either choose to call it there, or I'll do the third set. But I'm either gonna end up doing just 3 sets of 7 or 2 sets of 7 instead of the actual 4x7 that's usually done with the squats. And then on the bench press, I'll be doing all 4 sets of 7, but instead of doing my competition bench press, which for me is middle finger on the ring, I'll be doing max grip bench pressing, which means I'm gonna have my pointer finger on the ring, which is the legal max grip width you can do in a powerlifting meet. For simple reasons that I'm gonna be, it's gonna allow me to, well, it's twofold. One, it's gonna allow me to effectively reduce the range of motion, which is gonna help reduce a little bit of fatigue as far as the total workload, just because I'm not having to move the weight quite as far. It's still gonna be pretty far for me, just because, once again, very long limbs compared to my torso, which is one of the reasons why I'm doing it. But then the second reason is that it's going to allow me to actually practice the max grip width, which is what I will eventually end up transitioning to probably after my meet in December is when I'll start working on that, just because it takes a little bit of time. I like to ease out 1 finger at a time, work with that grip for a few months, and then ease out again. You guys who've been with the channel from the very beginning know, when you guys first started watching this channel, I was very close. My pinky finger wasn't even at the ring. I was inside of the rings, and then eventually got to pinky finger at the ring. Then I started working with Brendan, ring finger on the ring. And after my last meet, June 30th, I started going to middle finger on the ring. So then after this next meet in December, I will be max grip width, just because for me that's probably gonna be most optimal due to the extremely long range of motion that my bench press is. Even though I'm a very strong bench presser and I've built my bench up very well for my weight class, up to 350 at a body weight of 160 pounds. And if I'm really gonna try to keep pushing and adding to that, I need to do everything that I can just to make the bench work the best for my structure. But anyway, while we're inside training, I'm gonna be talking to you guys about a few things today. I'm gonna be talking to you pretty much about my goal of being a stat thick. Basically, I wanna get thicker during this lean mass phase. I'm still trying to maintain, some relative leanness, just to be somewhat aesthetic. I'm trying to be a stat thick, and pretty much what my mindset is as far as my calories, my macros, my nutrition, just addressing a few misconceptions that I think people have developed with all the extremes of the fitness industry. I'm gonna be talking about that. I'm gonna be talking to you guys about how to think about different injuries or nagging aches you may be dealing with, whether you powerlift or not, just from lifting in general, and kind of understanding the difference between okay, you need to know why you're feeling the pain that you're feeling. Is this due to technique? Is this just a nagging injury that you're always going to kind of deal with due to something that you've done repetitively in the past? It's never going to quite fully heal or quite fully go away, and how to work around that. I'm going to be using my clients as examples of that, and just kind of it's just going to be kind of an informative, you guys know how these workout videos go. It's either a voiceover, or if it's raw, it's just kind of an informative workout vlog. So that's what it's going to be. But anyway, enough talking without lifting, because we're still gonna do a lot of talking, but let's get inside the gym. So you just saw a clip of me doing my 10-minute stationary bike day. This is something that both I do Michael does it as well, and Brendan basically has me doing it. One, it's actually pretty good for the knees, and two, it's just good pre-activation. I personally do it just because it's good pre-activation on the quads, but it's nothing so strenuous to where you're like exhausting yourself before squats. Michael actually it's actually been helping him a lot with knee pain, because that's something that he actually deals with, and you said that's been helping you out a lot in general, like with the knee pain, right?
Yeah, if you have any form of patellar tendonitis or any type of knee issues, I'm telling you, just get on the bike. 10 minutes, every time you go to the gym, about 10 to 15 minutes before and after, it helps so much.
Which makes sense, right? Because it's like you're getting some pre-activation of the quads, kind of waking the quads up a little bit, which of course is gonna help them do the work and not put as much pressure and stress onto your knees. And that's also why I like doing my fit training day of the week here at Metroflex. One, because it's not a high volume or high intensity day, the no AC thing just isn't as impactful, but also POD doesn't have stationary bikes. So yeah, just a nice moderate resistance and go from there. Anyway, I'm about to do squats. Not going anywhere near as heavy as what this dude did. You guys saw him do, what was that, 513, 518? Yeah, for a top triple.
Don't overshoot, kids.
Oh yeah, he overshot. Supposed to be RP6. I think it was like RP 8.5. But anyway, about to get set up for squats. You guys have already seen the rest of my mobility work, like for upper body and lower body. I already done videos showing you guys that. So yeah, I gotta get right into squats and start talking to you guys a little bit about this topic, about how your boy is gonna get a step thick. How we gonna be doing that? Alright guys, stepped outside to the back really quick just because all the fans, loud music in there. I ain't trying to risk y'all not being able to hear me and me have to do a voiceover again. Not that I minded, but I like to change it up, keep certain things raw. Anyway, first set moved really well. I'm definitely good for 2 more sets, so I'll only be shaping 1 set off for the day, and that should help me, like I said in the previous video, just reduce enough fatigue to feel really good on my next heavy intensity lower body day on Saturday, which will therefore make the whole rest of the week feel a lot better. But as far as, like I said guys, like my nutrition and calories. Now, I've already like been that topic over and over and over as far as calories in versus calories out, macros, all that kind of stuff. And once again, it's not to say that like counting calories is the end all be all of everything. Like like your caloric expenditure and intake matters. What I'm saying is, if you find a diet where you're not necessarily tracking, but allows you to be in a deficit for cutting, or you know that you're eating enough to be in a surplus for gaining, that's cool. Guys, I have no issue with things like intermittent fasting, different diets, stuff like that. My issue is, one, when you try to take a diet that you found has personally worked for you and force it upon others, whether it's due to your own moral beliefs about the diet or the fact that you think it does all this great stuff physiologically that it doesn't. That's my thing. If a diet works for you, that's fine, but know why it works for you. Usually it's more psychological than anything, because any diet that puts you in a deficit will make you lose weight. Any diet that has you in a surplus will help you gain lean mass. But at the end of the day, trying to present your diet as something magical, like saying that, oh, it does this and that, when research proves that it doesn't, or saying, oh, it helps prevent this and that, when research proves that it doesn't, or saying, oh, this is the best way to go about this for everyone, when research proves that's not necessarily the case. And then when you want to deny certain things that research shows about the diet that can actually be harmful, that's the thing. So for me, the way that I go about my dieting, even right now in the lean surplus, right? First and foremost, always making sure I'm hitting my micronutrients. For most people, and when I say most people, I'm talking about those of us who are in this fitness lifestyle. We're not talking about general population where they aren't tracking calories, macros, micros, or on any type of diet, right? We're not talking about the traditional American who's on the typical American diet. Of course, that's horrible. If you compare any extreme diet to the American diet, it's still probably gonna look a little bit better, right? But what I'm referring to is the fact that for me, and most of y'all who do this whole fitness thing, if you're tracking your calories, if you're tracking your macros, if you're not on a diet where you're extremely, you know, overeating one specific macro or undereating another, and you have a nice balanced diet as far as your macros, then usually most health issues that you're probably gonna be dealing with are gonna have more to do with a lack of micronutrition. It's not so much that you're overeating or undereating a certain macro if you have a nice balanced diet, it's more so are you getting in the micronutrition. That's the thing that people get wrong with Fit Your Macros. They've presented as, or that's the reason why a lot of people don't like Fit Your Macros, because it's been presented as this thing where it's like, oh, just eat whatever, make it fit your numbers, and like, you know, screw health, you're still gonna lose weight or gain weight. But we understand that yes, how much we, as far as calories, determines like, you know, weight gain and weight loss, but what we eat does matter as far as our health, of course. But like I said, for most of us who are tracking our foods and aren't just out there eating fast food all the time, now there's anything wrong with that, because the whole thing about, oh, processed food's the devil has been so exaggerated just to fit a certain agenda so people can sell certain diets, just like, oh, meat's the devil, or oh, carbs the devil, like all just exaggerations or cherry pick studies to present this type of stuff. When in actuality, guys, it's like, if you're have a nice balanced diet as far as your calories and macros, just make sure you're hitting your macros and you're good. I get my blood work checked like every year. I just got it checked a couple weeks ago, and everything always comes back good because I've always been on top of that. Even before I was counting calories or macros or was into as fitness as I am, because of just how I was raised with my parents, I always have, you know, nice home cooked meals, micro nutrient dense meals. And even as I got older and started eating out more and eating processed foods, that's fine because I didn't start slacking on the micronutrition. So for me, as far as this lean bulk, you guys already know like what my calories are, like 3,200 calories. I already told you guys what the macros were in a previous video, so you guys can go check that out. But for me, my main focus is make sure I get my macros, making sure I'm in that surplus, hitting my protein, and then getting as close as I can with the carbs and fats. I'm not tripping if I'm a little bit over my carbs one day, a little bit over my fats, because like I said, gaining weight for me is already hard enough as is, just due to like my activity level, the amount of volume I do training wise. And it comes down to the fact that for me, I'm like 160 pounds right now, and I'm trying to walk around 165 pounds stacked by December, so gaining by, you know, half a pound to a pound a month. So that's how I'm going about my goals of becoming a step thick. But like I said, I'm not gonna beat this topic too much as far as going to each details with the pros and cons of every diet out there, like keto, vegan, etc., because it just comes down to find what works for you, don't force upon anybody else, and don't exaggerate things. Do thorough research, not cherry pick studies, not just going and watching a YouTuber who clearly loves the keto diet or the vegan diet, but do adequate research. Look through all these studies, look at the meta-analysis, and understand how this stuff actually applies to you, and find what works best for you to reach your goals. Anyway, gonna knock out these squats, then get to bench. Guys, so mass grip width doesn't feel too bad. Definitely a different stimulation in the chest. Once again, it's just reduce the range of motion, help me recover a little bit, and get me used to it. So after my December meet, I can already be kind of more used to it. But anytime I change my grip width, it's like the stability is better, but it takes some getting used to. Anyway, homies, Santiago. Oh, hold on, let that clear up. Let them see your pretty face. Let them see your pretty face. There we go, Santiago. My boy Josh, both of my clients, captain, vice captain of the UNT powerlifting team.
I'm his best client. You didn't say that in the video, but I am his best client.
I'm not touching that one. But anyway, what I kind of want to talk to you guys about as far as like injury prevention. For example, Santiago, he has an issue with his adductor simply due to how he was squatting for so long. Let me step out real quick, make sure I'm not getting copyright on this music and stuff real quick. Give me a second. Man, your boy was feeling that music too. It was hidden, but anyway, not trying to get copyrighted. Anyway, Santi, due to how he was squatting for such a long time before he started working with me, he just put a lot of pressure and strain on his adductor and his abductor too, but that was a different issue, but mainly as far as the squats with his adductor. So what we found is, even though we have done lots to improve his technique, I'll try to, if depending on how long this video is going to be, I'll like have a clip of like, you know, how he used to squat before versus what squat looks like now. Squat.
Big Gucci.
Good, come on.
Nitro booming, want some more.
Each one like a single, let's go. Up. There we go, same thing. Good. Yeah, come on. One more. Take your time, get tight. Fight, stay upright. Yes! There we go. But basically, technique-wise, it's looking really good, especially due to how he's built and the best way to squat for his built and his leverages. Looking really good. He's on top of his mobility work, but every now and then, especially during high volume phases, we'll start to see some irritation with that adductor again. So it's important to understand, guys, why you're experiencing pain. I talked about this on my Instagram story before, but it pretty much comes down to the fact that if you are somebody where it's like, whenever I do this movement this way, I feel pain or I feel an issue. You need to address if it's something technical that you need to fix as far as your technique, because if so, that's pretty much an easy fix, right? Address your technique and that pain should over time alleviate yourself. But if it's something where it's just a problem area, whether it's due just to like genetically, it's just something like a weaker area for you, or due to like damage that you've caused that area over time, that even when you fix it, you got to the point where you can work around it, it may be something that you always have to work around. So understand the differences between those two, because like I said, too many powerlifters, they get focused on, okay, I have an issue, I have an injury, I gotta recover, and once they get good, that's great, but it's not enough to just, you know, get back healthy. You need to figure out what were the triggers, what caused this, so that way you can be in a good position to address it. If it's something that's a problem spot, you may have to address it with programming, doing certain types of accessory work to maybe strengthen that area, or maybe you're gonna have to like reduce the volume to a certain degree. You may not be able to train with as much volume as what you'd be able to otherwise. Pull it back a little bit, because it's better to pull the volume back a little bit by 10-15% and still be able to progress the movement than to try to do as much volume as what you usually would, but that area flares up and you have to step away for a few weeks, and it's just this back and forth type of deal that you don't want to deal with. Versus, like I said, if it's more of like a technical issue, then that's easier to fix. But it's just important to kind of understand the distinctions between that. Anyway, from this point on, I think that's pretty much all I really want to talk to you guys about. Just gonna let you guys enjoy the rest of this workout footage, you know, show you guys some of their top sets, show you my mile rep work, and that pretty much be it for the video.
Alright guys, so just finishing out the last couple of minutes of this video with the voiceover, just showing you a couple of highlights of my client's training, as well as like the mile rep work that I did afterwards. So right now, you know, this is Josh's secondary deadlift day. He actually pulls sumo, and on this day we have him doing block pulls just to strengthen his back without getting as much fatigue with a full range of motion deadlift. But that's working in a similar movement pattern as the sumo deadlift, as far as just the positioning that his back has to be in, because he used to have a tendency of his back leaking, and that has not been much of an issue at all, not just due to doing this type of variation work, but just due to the accessory work and building his back up as a whole. And then right here you guys can see that Santiago, this is top set of bench press, also come a long way as far as maintaining proper positioning with the elbows and just getting overall better force transfer. So really proud of just the progression that they both made, and I want to start trying to do that as often as I can, maybe showing like a few highlights of my clients here and there. And then you guys already know how the mile rep stuff goes. I'm showing like the first set of each thing, where it's like, you know, the first set is 15 to 20 reps, and then it's 3 sets of AMRAP with only 15 seconds between each set. So y'all already know what's up with that. But yeah, I hope I was clear, guys. As always, if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments down below as far as like what all I'm doing, as far as like just my perception with the nutrition, with the injury prevention. Like I said, Brandon and I are going to be going over a lot of things like that as far as content in this upcoming month. I actually may get one more video out before I head to the Cali trip. Today is actually the 21st that I'm recording this voiceover, and I'll be leaving for Cali on the 23rd. So I may actually get one more video out, but if not, then the next one you guys see, I will be in Cali with Brendan. So I'm really looking forward to that. We have a whole list of videos and ideas and topics that we're going to be covering, and it's going to be great. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for the video. I just wanted to like let you guys know, like, you know, where I'm at, what the whole purpose and goal of being aesthetic is. I kind of already talked about it on Instagram, and essentially, yeah, I want to be around, like I said, 165 pounds, the top of my weight class for my first USPA meet. But then after that meet, guys, I'm gonna build even further. I'm trying to get like into like possibly even the upper 170s. Just spend a whole good year building, and then cut down, you know, look, you know, pretty jacked, pretty decent for the summer, and then just be in a stronger position for powerlifting overall, as far as just having more total muscle mass. And just, you know, it's just going to help me in the long run, like I said, with even injury prevention. Like I said, smaller joint dude, not exactly built quote unquote optimally for powerlifting in a lot of ways, but I'm able to do it because I go about it in a smart and effective manner. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead and leave a comment down below, let me know what you did. If you did not, leave a comment down below, let me know what I can do to get better. Like the video, share, subscribe. Keep it simple, specific, scientific. I'll catch y'all later.